Hello everyone and welcome to the WhoCraft server. This is Sartsaba, here to tell you a little bit about what WhoCraft is, give you an introduction to our server, show you around a little bit and show you the cool things we have going on. Today I want to give you a tour and let you know about a cool thing that we have coming up in just about another week. So WhoCraft is an adult-only Minecraft server. If you're familiar with any of the YouTubers out there, it's very similar to what you see on Minecraft or on the server that Exuma and other guys like that play on, called Hermitcraft. So I've been playing Minecraft myself for probably about 4 years, I think, 3 or 4 years, and got my start just playing like everybody else, and then kind of got tired of playing alone and wanted to play on a server that had other people who were serious. Obviously, a lot of the smaller servers or even the bigger servers that are out there for kids, there's not a whole lot of stuff on there that I found very interesting. So I looked around quite a bit. I posted on Reddit one day and kind of out of frustration that I couldn't find anything really good, and got a response back from Sunny Days, who is one of the administrators here on WhoCraft, and she had invited me to come join the server and apply to be a member. WhoCraft is a really great little server. There's not a whole lot of people that play on it. Sometimes we can have as many as 10 people on if we're doing a special event or something. But most of the time it's just individual people who get on to play, have some fun. When I started just before 1.8 came out. The 1.8 update was pretty major, and so the decision was made to go ahead and reboot the server and start with a fresh world. So I played a little bit on the old world, the old map, and then basically I just kind of hung out a little bit for a couple weeks until 1.8. When the 1.8 update happened, we started out here in our main city, which we built this area up over the course of over the last year, of course, more than a year now since 1.8 came out. So we built up this little city, and then I want to say about 3 or 4 months ago, it's probably a little more than that even, we decided to do a blind jump, and the blind jump was all of us get together on the server. We put the world border at a very small, I think it's about 300 blocks or something, so you couldn't go outside of that range. And we put it off on the corner of the map, in a place we hadn't really explored or done too much in. And we called it a blind jump because everybody got rid of all of their diamond armor and all their stuff, and we started out as if it was a brand new map, even though it really wasn't a new map, it was just a new section of the map. So that was a really great opportunity for everyone to come back together. We got quite a few new users, new players to come join, and so we built up what we now call Jumpton, and that's another city that I'll show you a little bit later. So Jumpton was built over the course of a couple of weeks, and then I think we had the blind jump for about 2 weeks, maybe three, where the world border was really tight, and you couldn't go outside of it again. And then after we extended the world border again to its original size, and you could access the rest of the map, another thing that we did was added in what we call Legacy City. And Legacy City is the center of the city from the original map, from the old map. So we kind of cut and pasted that into this map on the server as well. So now we have three major cities here on the WhoCraft server. We've got Origin City here, where we started out with 1.8. We've got Jumpton, where we did the blind jump, and we have Legacy City, which is from the 1.7 world. So this gives us a lot of different buildings, a lot of different interesting things you can go and look and see, a lot of resources that are available, and a lot of cool things you can do. In addition to the cities we also have a very large, very ornate Nether Hub that was also copied in from the 1.7 world. And so we have this really great Nether Hub that is a good center point for the Nether. And then some of the guys have just gone above and beyond. It's amazing how much stuff has been done. There is an entire rail network in the Nether. So if you want to walk around in the Nether and get quickly from place to place. There are color-coded Nether rails that'll get you wherever you want to go. So that's probably enough talking for now. What I want to do is walk around and show you a little bit of the things that are here. So let me go back into my main mode. I'm going to go ahead and put my armor back on, so I'm a little protected here. So again, this is Origin City. When we started out, this was just a plains biome, nothing really crazy. We had a little creek going over here. I think this was actually on top of a hill. We were sitting on top of a hill here. So we built all of this over the course of a couple of months. This apartment complex is actually the building that I decided to do. I got inspired by one of the guys who plays on the Minecraft server, Seth Bling. He had built a apartment complex on the new Minecraft server, so I decided to do the same kind of thing. So this is the lobby of the apartment building. We have, well, we had at one point a butler who was a zombie pigman. He apparently has passed away. And then we have elevators. You can go up the elevators. I love these elevators. So cool. So you can go up, and then on each floor there are 2 rooms and 2 apartments. And the apartments aren't really that big, but they're big enough to give you some space to put some stuff here in the main city if you wanted to, keep some things locally and not have too much, have to go back to your main base again. Every single one of these also has a little balcony, and it's completely up to the owner of the apartment as to whether they decorate it or how they decorate it. And everybody has done different types of jobs on this. So I'm not going to go all the way up to the top. It is a 9-story building, so I'm not going to go all the way up. But basically, it's pretty big. I also built myself a little apartment in the basement. So I've got my own little place down here. This was just where I had a lot of storage, and especially when I was building the building itself, which took quite a long time. I had to have storage, and so I built myself a little base down here. Later, I actually moved to a different location. I'll show you that later. And this is a different room. So this used to be a farm, I think, out an indoor farm. But recently, I toward the after the map had been going for a little while, I turned it into a little shop where people could buy some of the more rare items that are available on the server. And then when that kind of stopped producing anything, I decided to do a winner-take-all Abba caving competition. So this is actually still in the works. We haven't actually started the competition. I actually need to set up a couple other of these guys here. Basically, we're in the process of collecting names right now. So once I have all the names in the competition, then we'll randomize who gets to play against whom and set up the whole competition. That'd be really cool. So if you're not familiar, Abba caving is just a competition where you compete against 1 or 2 other people, and whoever collects the most stuff from a caving run in the course of a set amount of time, usually about 20 minutes, whoever has the highest point value for all of the things they've gotten, they win everything that everybody got. So it's a great way of one person getting a lot of resources, and kind of a fun competition thing. All right, so that's the apartment complex. So let's look around a little bit more. Honestly, I don't know what all of these buildings are. Some of these were built by different people who are either on the server or no longer on the server. So this is the tavern. You can go into the tavern here. Machines are that way. There's I think up here there's like a little bar area. Yeah, so you can pay for different types of food. Some of the guys on the WhoCraft server are just really good at building. I'm impressed all the time at how well they do. So I'm gonna go back this way. So that's the tavern. If you look over here, we've got a big hot air balloon. The hot air balloon is actually covering up a mob spawner, which originally was one of our only places to get mob drops early in the server, and you see them dropping down there. I'm the only person on the server right now, so that's basically, if anybody else is on here, that probably wouldn't be working very well. Oh, hello, Mr. Spider. So, in case you're interested, this is we are still running Minecraft 1.8, We will be upgrading to Minecraft 1.9 next week, and that's part of the reason I wanted to do this little tour, is to let people know, and if they're interested in joining us for our update. We're planning on keeping the same world. So the world that you see here, the WhoCraft server is going to be the same thing. We're actually going to update and do a blind jump, just like we did before. We've already got a section of the map set apart for the 1.9 update. The plan is to go to a new location, somewhere close to one, or surrounding one of the new fortresses, or the locations where you can get into the end. And once we're going to start off with a blind jump where everybody has to do everything from scratch again. And then once we're all geared up and ready to go, we'll go in and fight the Ender Dragon. We haven't decided yet if we're going to reset the end. We do have an Ender Pearl farm there and some other stuff in there. So we haven't decided yet if we're going to keep all that, or if we're going to go a different route and reset everything. So we'll figure that out as we go, I guess. That should happen in the next week, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, the plan is to build up a city in the end. We haven't really built a lot of stuff in the end. Right now we just have the Ender Pearl farm. So I think that's probably going to be really cool. It's going to be a great blind jump, and then also just really neat to build stuff in the end that we haven't been able to build before. So anyway, so we'll be updating 1.9 as part of that process. And if you're interested in joining us, if you're an adult, 18 or older, you can apply on WhoCraft.net. Go to our website and apply for that. So this is our slime farm. The slime chunks are down below, and the slimes work their way up the elevator here, and then you can go in here and kill them all. So it's a great way of getting slimes. It's actually pretty active when you sit in there for a little while. So lots of other stuff here on the server. Again, I don't know what everything is, and some of these are buildings that were built by other people who I haven't seen on the server in a long time either. But the build styles are kind of all over the place. You can see that everybody has different types of build styles and really cool stuff going on. So let's head over this direction. What is this? Bingo's Crystal Tower. Yeah. So Bingo doesn't play on the server much anymore. All right, so let's go over this direction. There's an airship over here. Pretty sure Sunny has. I think this might be Sunny's wool farm. She started off building up a wool farm at one point, and I think there's a mob farm connected to this as well. Yeah, so lots of cool stuff here on the server. This section is Sunny's Tower and Magic Sheep Farm. Yeah, Magic Sheep Farm. So I don't even know if Sunny has been working on this a lot recently. She has another base in Legacy City where she's doing most of her work right now. But this is, I mean, look at this. This is amazing, huge airship. I just love it. All right, so this is, I think that's about it. I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff here. If you join the server, you obviously can look around and see all the cool stuff. Hey, what are you doing there? And let's see. Oh, this is the, I'm going to eat something here. This is the clock tower. I think at one point it was intended to actually be an active clock with some sort of timekeeping mechanism on it, but that never ended up happening. I think because of lag on the server, it wasn't going to work. But this is our town hall. If we ever had meetings, I'm pretty sure that's where we do it. So, and then over here we've got a bridge that heads out the other direction. We've got a big tree house that someone was building, and over here is our enchanting table. This is the enchanting room, one of the many on the server, of course. But yeah, lots of places around here you can do your enchanting. And let's see. I hear him, but I don't see him, so I'm gonna leave him alone. All right. Well, that's about that. Let's go ahead and go over to the Nether, and I'll show you the Nether Hub, and we'll go on from there. I'm gonna try to keep this a little bit short. I know I've been recording here for a little while already, but I want to keep it just a little bit short. So this is our Nether Hub. We've got a lot to cover, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. Essentially, each of these blocks where the nether brick is was originally supposed to be heads. You can see one over there. There's not a lot of people who have actually done that. You know, most of the heads that are on here are from when the hub was originally built. So Sunny's face over here is from the original hub. Essentially, the way the hub works now is just as a center point. So I'm going to go downstairs. It's actually a 3-level hub. On the bottom level here, we have our nether rail, and this is what I think is probably the coolest thing. The nether rail will take you to the 2 different locations on the server that I mentioned before, Jumptown and Legacy City. Those are both on the cyan or the blue Jumpton line. And then we also have a west side line. This is a line that goes out to the west. There's a mesa biome out there, and my base and also Groovy's base are out there. And I'll take you out to both of those locations eventually. May not be able to fit everything into this one episode, so maybe for now we'll stick to going one direction and then go the other direction on the next episode. So let me actually go outside and show you what we did on the outside of the Nether Hub. So one of the things that you know, if you're familiar much with Minecraft, one of the things that you usually want to do is to get lots of beacons. And the beacons are you get beacons by killing. I didn't do it. Don't kill me. You get beacons by killing wither skeletons, and wither skeletons drop their skulls. So when they drop their skull, then you can take those skulls and build a wither. You can spawn a wither, and when you spawn the wither, you have to fight him, and then once he's dead, he drops a nether star, and then you use that nether star to make a beacon. So that's essentially, and the beacons give you buffs. They give you speed or you know, protection of some kind, some other things. So one of the things that we did as part of the original construction of our nether here was to create a wither skeleton farm. So if you go into the nether and you look at a nether fortress, kind of like this one right here, and you look at intersections, see that intersection right over there where the 2 different lines come through, that intersection is a place where wither skeletons would normally spawn. So what we did was, beneath this big box down here, there are actually 2 different intersections that were pretty close together in this original nether fortress. So what we did was we built a platform there, and we built a whole spawning system and killing system where you can, you know, the wither skeletons can spawn. They drop down to a location, then you can kill them and get their heads, and then use those heads to spawn the wither. So part of the problem we ran into, though, with this specific issue, this specific type of farm, is that in order to get really good spawn rates in here, you have to have basically no other spawning happening around the whole building or the whole place, the whole farm. So what we ended up doing, a lot of times you'll see, you know, the people will come into the nether and they want to do this kind of thing, and they actually just half slab the entire nether. And so that, if you see down there, all those blocks, the white colored or gray colored blocks down there, that's actually half slabs. So we started slabbing out the nether, and then we decided, well, that's just not going to work because there's a limit to how much you can actually do. So we ended up basically blowing up the entire nether. So what you see here, this is a huge box, and I don't know if you can see it very well. That's the other end. We have cleared out the nether in a huge square. It's 128 blocks in each direction. So this is a massive empty space here in the nether. What that does is it gets rid of all of the nether rack. It gets rid of all the caves, and so you don't have other mobs, other bad guys spawning here in the nether. All you have is, you know, just they're able to spawn only where you allow it, essentially. So there's no caves and there's no place for them to hide or spawn in a hidden way. So essentially this makes it a lot easier to get pretty good drops here at the Wither Skeleton farm. Oh, Zeruku just joined the game. So Zeruku actually did a ton of the work. I think he did the vast majority of the work here. he was very instrumental in clearing out this space. So anyway, so that's essentially what we've done in the Nether. There's a huge amount of work that went into this this area because of 1.9. Some of the bugs that they fixed in 1.9 were actually being exploited to do the type of farm we have here. So we're going to have to rebuild this farm and do a different type of farm. But we'll end up doing that before too long after we get the new server set up and the new update done and the blind jump finished. So that'll be redone, and then once it's redone, we should be able to half slab the rest of the bottom here, or possibly do just do lava across the bottom of it to eliminate the spawns for other things outside here, and that'll give us plenty of spawn rates for wither skeletons in there. Also hidden underneath this thing is a blaze spawner, so we'll turn it into a blaze spawner as well. We've got plans to do a really big furnace room over here that'll take all the blaze rods and coal that we get from the farms over there, and pipe them up into the furnaces so you can get tons and tons of things smelted. That's another wither skeleton section, another intersection that we turned into a little kind of manual farm, so that might be turned into something else again in the future as well. Now what I'm walking on right now is one of our internal kind of our walkways, and we've got a whole couple of different sections of walkways here in the Nether that take you from one place to another. If you're not familiar with this, one of the things about the Nether that's really important is that for every 8 blocks that you have in the overworld, in the normal world above, not the Nether, for every 8 blocks you have there, you have 1 block here. So if I walk from this block right here to that block right there, I've gone the equivalent of 8 whole blocks up in the overworld, and a block is essentially a meter. It's like 3 feet. So what that means is if I go from this portal and run this direction and go through a different portal, I've gone 8 times the distance up in the overworld, and that makes it a lot easier to get around. So what we've done here in the Nether is create a bunch of different roads that you can walk on. So let me go over here. I'm going to hop up to the top here. So this is the west wing, or the west section, and you see all of our roads are built in this kind of style. We've got the fire for lighting down the sides of it. We've got nether brick fences that go along, and then bricks of other kinds. So if you were to run all the way down this line, you would end up in the west side. We've got a little bitty hub over there that kind of breaks, takes you to three or four different places, kind of splits off the road in 3 or 4 different directions. So if you were to go that direction, that's what you would run into. This direction heads out toward Jumpton, so it actually intersects with a different walkway the other direction. And then if you go out a different way, you can get there as well. So one of the things we did, though, and this is probably one of the coolest aspects of this entire Nether Hub, is the Nether Rail. So in addition to being able to just run along those paths or take a horse along those paths, we also have the Nether Rail that will take you to those same locations. So again, there's only 2 lines right now. The eventual idea is that if we go other directions besides excuse me, besides just out to Jumpton or just out to the west side, then we would have the ability to build out rails that go to those. This mechanism is pretty cool. If you're familiar with one of the updates they did, I think it was 1.8 when they updated this. Whenever you have a frame like this, you can actually collect the redstone signal from the back of it. The signal strength is dependent on how what direction the item is facing. So if I'm right-clicking on this arrow, if it's in that position, it has a signal strength coming out the back, and then this is a different signal strength. And what you can do is use that signal strength. You can capture that on the back side and figure out what signal strength it is, and then run systems off of that. So some people, you can look on, there's some pretty cool ideas on YouTube for how to use this kind of signal strength detector to do like hidden traps or hidden doors to your secret safe or whatever. So the way we were doing it is we use it as the selector for what line you want to go on. So I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go to the west side. I'm going to show you guys the west side, and then maybe in the next episode I'll show you the jump-in as well, and the other things as well. So let's just go to the website. So west side. So I have this selected to the west side, and I'm going to hit the button. When that happens, a minecart will come up from the bottom. If I hop into it and wait for a second, it'll take off on its own, and we're going to go down the orange line. So I'm gonna go ahead and respond to Zruku while we're doing this. He is building a very large hole, essentially. I think he's digging out a massive hole in the ground. And I can't remember if he's building like a big sphere out of glass or something like that. It's going to be pretty epic, I'm pretty sure. I mean, this is the guy who dug out most of the nether, most of that 128 square nether area, so it's not surprising really at all. So the nether rail, this nether rail line is just amazing. I'm very impressed. White Lightning and H-Boom are the two guys who did pretty much all the work on it. And as you see, it's a pretty straightforward design. And you know, it's a pretty straightforward design, and it does a pretty good job. So I'm gonna go ahead and go up top here. Let me respond real quick to Zruku. Yeah, that would be a ton of lag. So this little hub here is just the end of the line hub for the west side, and we go up top. We've got just a little nether hub that I built with I think it was Groovy, and maybe it was White Lightning as well, who helped me build this. It's just a little easy design for a little hub here. If you go out this direction, Groovy has two bases out here. Groovy's Desert Pyramid is that way, and I'll show you that in a little bit. And then over that direction, he was building a mountain base. He kind of got tired of doing the desert area, so he decided to do a mountain base as well. Down this line is the mob farm. So I'll take you down and show you that. It's built in the middle of a ocean, which is just great. So let me go to my house real quick. I'll show you what my house looks like. I have kind of a varied building style, so I don't have a one consistent building style that I'm working with. This was my first little house that I built here on the savanna biome. I built this in a savanna because I really don't like rain, so I wanted to be able to live in an area that didn't have active rain even when it was raining elsewhere. But I prefer being in a little bit more green, so I decided I didn't want to be in a desert. So this is my little house. There's not a whole lot here. I've got my board with lists of all the things I want to do. I used to have my enchanting room over here, but I've moved it since then. So that's that. I've got a little sugarcane farm there. That is my new house, and so I'm decided to start building in a more modern style. That's my first attempt at building a modern house. Most of the houses I build are pretty straightforward. They're pretty dull and boring, actually. So I decided to go with a more modern style. So I mean, this my barn over here. You notice it's pretty similar to the house. This modern house, I love it. I really like the look and feel of it. It took me a long time to really figure out what I wanted to do with it and how I wanted it to be built. But this is what it looks like now. So if we go inside, I've got a little downstairs kind of a living room that's depressed into the ground a little bit, and then a nice balcony here. You can look out over the ocean. There's not a whole lot really close by. Groovy is over that direction in the desert, and there's another desert over there. I think it's that direction or that direction. So anyway, so this is the upstairs room. Of course, I just built this house a little while back, so I haven't actually done all the internals yet. Upstairs we have the enchanting room. This will eventually have storage for enchanted books and some other things. Haven't figured out exactly how to do that. One of the things you run into with modern design like this is you don't have a lot of space for things on all the walls are glass, and you don't want to see a bunch of stuff from the outside. So I'm not sure how to handle that right now. So I've got my balcony up here on the roof, a little bit of a protective barrier on that side, but you'll fall right off if you go this way. And then if you go down to the downstairs, I built my storage room down here, and so this is my storage area. Originally, the plan was to automate all of this. I've decided because of lag, I really don't want to do that. So I think for now, I'm just going to go ahead and stick with what I've got. I have a ton of chests. Every chest is kind of lined out as to what it is and what it's for. Wool, all different types of wool, all different types of clay, etc. And lots of resources. Because we've been playing on the server for so long, resources are really not much of a problem. You'll find that if you don't have something that you really want, you'll essentially be able to get to it. So I already did set up a preferred blocks chest here, waiting for the 1.9 update. Behind here is where the automation would go. As you see, I've got a bunch of hoppers there ready to go for that. I may go ahead and do some of this as automated, and when I build farms especially. So I've got a sugarcane farm that's manual now, but I might build another one that's automatic. And if I do, then it would make sense to automate putting that sugarcane in the chest there. So other sections down here that aren't really built out. I was playing around with a fishing farm over here, automatic fishery. And then if you go down this path, this takes you all the way back to my other house over there. I've got a little, what used to be my storage room down that direction. And then down here is a mining area. I'll go ahead and go down and show you my mining area and drop into the water. So this was my original mining area. As you can see, I've got a double beacon here, and we've got speed 2 and haste 2. So you can run really fast and you can mine really fast. And so this is how I cleared out all of this space with an efficiency 5 pick and the haste 2 beacon. And then I also, because there's a couple of slime chunks down here, I've also got automatic slime collectors. The slimes will spawn down here. They go over here, try to attack the golem. They get killed by the cactus, and then their slime balls get picked up and dropped in the chest, so you can collect slimes pretty easily. So this was a fun project. I love mining in Minecraft. It's actually one of my favorite things to do, just kind of chill out and mine for a little while and kind of play around. So I love doing that project. What I might do in the future too, if I want a whole lot more stone or something for some reason. I mean, right now I've got a ton of stone and cobblestone, but if I ever wanted more, I could just go up a couple of blocks and start another mining level. And because that beacon is affecting, the effect goes all the way up from the bottom to the top of the world. I can mine all of this out if I wanted to, and make a huge hole in the ground if I really wanted to do that. So that's my mining area, and if we come up this ladder, we're going to come up right next to our sugarcane farm and our little cactus farm. And that's pretty much my house. I've got an automatic chicken cooker here. A lot of my goal for this area is, in the end, I want to have essentially this whole top of the mountain, or of the plateau here in the savannah. I want this whole thing to be covered in a little city, the modernist kind of style city. So we'll see other houses like this one, and little ones along the paths, and kind of build out farms and do other cool stuff that are kind of more in that modernist style. So that'll be the eventual thing. Again, my building style is not really that great, at least for building houses and things. So I tend to stick to building more automation and doing things underground. This is a kind of quick and dirty way to a desert quarry. We've been quarrying out a desert, and go ahead and sleep so that Zuruka can. So he can get his sleep in. So anyway, so the desert quarry was very helpful. We used all of the sand to build a whole bunch of TNT, which was used to clear out that big nether area. So, all right, let me take you over here. This is I want to run down our little ice path there and hop through this portal. So this is one of the mob farms that's on the server, and it's called the Thunderdome. It was originally designed by JW, who's no longer playing on the server. I updated the farm and added a whole bunch of new things to it. So it is essentially just a mob farm by original designs. Let me go up here and show you. If you look up into the sky, you see the big square up there. This is in the middle of an ocean biome. So there's no land around. All of the surrounding caves have been lit up. So there's nothing really, there's nothing to keep, to do any kind of spawning outside of this area. So basically, because that big black box up there exists, and it's just just a big box of blackness with no lights or anything. As a result, you get pretty good mob spawns, especially when you're the only person on the server, at least. So this is the drop room. So the guys will spawn down up in that upstairs. He must have had thorns on. So they spawn up there. They get pushed by water into this drop zone, and it's kind of an X shape. And so they drop down and they land on the ground, and they're supposed to die. Thing is that mobs will die with that kind of drop only if they are if they're not wearing armor. So if they're wearing armor, they are less likely to perish with the drop. So that's what these lava droppers are for. I set it up so that the lava would automatically drop down and kill any of the guys who are still alive because they had armor on. I'm gonna take a pause here, talk to White for a little bit. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Wanted to catch up with White real quick and talk to him about some of the things we've got planned going on here. Still here in the Thunderdome. Just wanted to give you a quick little tour of the bottom section here. Because we're collecting a whole bunch of different drops, we have a really good sorting system here that's filled up with a whole bunch of goodies. If you sit around here, you can sit. There's an AFK room over here where you can go in there and sit down and hang out AFK for a while. If you do that, then you'll collect a pretty good number of drops just from sitting there. So string and zombie flesh are two of the really big drops that we do. Obviously, gunpowder was the major reason we had this farm, or expanded the farm a little bit, was getting gunpowder for the Nether clearing project. So the string and the zombie flesh are really helpful because you can use that to trade with our villagers. Each of these villagers is set up. I set up a whole a whole villager farm over there, and picked out the best villagers, kind of culled out the really bad ones and kept the really good ones. So you can trade 36 flesh for a single emerald, or get 9 gold or 1 lapis, or those kinds of things. So you can see the trades that we've got. Then you can do string over here with the Fletchers, and those guys, and also the fishermen as well will take string. So the idea is that you trade with them and try to keep them from losing, from getting their trades X'd out like this. You trade with them something else every once in a while, so they refresh their trades. It's a great way of getting cool stuff. We have some really good villagers here on the server, not just here in the Thunderdome, but also in Legacy City and in other locations. And also on our forums, we have a whole list of where all the best trades are, so you can know where to go. So if you want like a Power 4 book, or if you want an Efficiency 5 book, you can see that there's some pretty good trades here. If we go down another level, drop down here, we've got a sugarcane farm. So just an easy way of collecting sugarcane and trading that with the librarians up here. And then we've got the kind of behind the scenes level. This is the kind of the hidden level. All the tracks that I used for collecting those villagers from my little villager farm over there, and bringing them over here to cull them out and figure out which ones I wanted to keep. So that's the Thunderdome. Lots of really good resources over here, and a great place to come AFK if you're alone on the server. It's a good place to get some good stuff. This episode is getting really long, so I'm going to try to keep it as short as I can. I'm going to take you over here and show you Groovy's desert temple. He's done an amazing job. Groovy has spent hours and hours on the server building this amazing compound over here. So this is basically his his desert temple. So let me show you the whole thing. Okay, so that's the actual pyramid. He's got a ton of internal space in the pyramid itself. And I'll go over here and kind of give you a view of that. Obviously, we've got some beacons over here as well, so you can get around. The jump is April 2nd. So the blind jump that we're going to be doing is going to happen starting on April 2nd. So yeah, so you can see he's got a huge amount of space inside of there, and there's a villager farm in there and some other stuff going on, and just this massive city with a like waterways and just really well built. I'm so impressed with Groovy's style. It's so amazing that he's done such an amazing job building this thing out. So it's a pretty huge city. A lot of these little buildings are just little shops or different things. Here's another little pyramid, a glass pyramid here, and he's taken over a good portion of the desert to do this. So yeah, so this is Groovy's area, and that row you see over there, the blocks you see over there, is actually a line of a rail line that we created between his base and built it 1,000 blocks out. It goes right past my base, which is just out that direction. And so if you wanted to do the 1,000 block achievement in Minecraft, you could do that by following, getting on that rail line over here and following it all the way through. So this is the inside of his pyramid over here. Yeah, I'm just so impressed. Groovy has done an amazing job on this whole place. So let me get some food, or we're gonna go over and take a look at what he's been doing more recently on his mountain base, and then we'll call it an episode, and I'll take you to some of the other locations in the next episode. This one's already going to be probably 45 minutes, and that's pretty long for most episodes. So run down here, and then we have to run across the Nether because he doesn't have another line or anything going out this direction. So we'll follow his little path around, and I'll come back in a sec. Okay, so upon exiting the portal here, we see the new mountain base that Groovy's been building. It's got a nice little farm over here and cows for leather and food. Go over the bridge. And I haven't been here in a while, so he's done quite a bit of other work that I haven't seen before. He's using a bunch of different materials for his little path here. Looks like he's got some little houses. I love the fact that he's building essentially a little village on the outside of his castle, which is pretty historically accurate. So if we go into the castle proper, so now we're inside the main entry area, and then head into the keep. And here's the insides of the castle. I'm assuming that he's got, yeah. So here's his well, a double enchanting table. Lots of cool stuff here. There's probably more. Yeah, there's his bed and everything over here, and then some chests that are empty for some reason. So yeah, this is a pretty cool area. Oh, found his room with all of his stuff in it, and then we go here. Where was? Oh, is that it? No, that's not it. He's got a path around here. Maybe it's on the other side. He's got a path that goes around. Goes up on top of the mountain, if memory serves. So maybe you have to go up there. And go up his little tower. Yep, there it is. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. Well, let's keep going up, and maybe we'll see it. He's got a couple of other things on the other side. There it is. So if we go up the mountain here, it's not very protected over this direction, of course. There's no lights or anything in the middle of the night. So he's got a chicken farm. He had a sheep farm over here at one point. Maybe he moved that. This is the other side of the mountain. I think his plan eventually is to continue building his base over this direction as well. So that's Groovy's area. let's get out of here before something blows up on me. Apparently there's a new line. I'm going to go down here, and I think I'm going to cut off the episode now. I'm going to go take a look at this new line. I'll show you guys that later as well. But we'll come back in the next episode and give you a little bit of a tour of some of the other places here on the WhoCraft server. Again, if you're interested, if you're an adult 18 years of age or older and you're interested in joining us for our new jump, you can go to WhoCraft.net and apply to join the WhoCraft server. You have to fill out the application, let us know about yourself, answer the questions, and we'll get back to you. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off, and I'll see you guys again in the next episode. Thanks a lot.